Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ryan Lucas. Welcome to Community Corner.
Hello, my name is Aaron Castle. Welcome to Community Corner.
And I'm DeWitt Taylor.
Good afternoon. Well, today I'm very excited to welcome one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. This person happens to be my sister Courtney. She is an amazing woman. She has done many, many things in my life to make my life both educational and mature as an adult. I think it's truly an honor to have her with us today, because this is going to bring some good perspective on what it truly means to have a sibling in my life.
Well, thank you, Ryan. I'm glad I'm here.
Welcome. It's so good to have you here, Courtney. Courtney, before we start,
Well, may I say hi to Aaron and David?
yes, you may say to my two friends.
Thank you.
Tell us a little about yourself, growing up, and your family. Tell us about growing up with me.
Growing up with you?
Yes, and Travis and your two older brothers.
Well,
Tell me, did you like it?
I have to say that I have had one of the best
Oh,
families that I could ever ask for.
really? Okay.
I have a younger brother who says he's my older brother, which is okay, because that makes me younger.
Oh, it does? I didn't say that, do
That
I?
man right there, Ryan.
Oh, everybody, hello.
And then I have an older brother, and his name is Travis. And he doesn't live in Michigan. He lives in Mexico City and then sometimes in New York City. So we don't get to see him very often. And then my mom and dad. I am blessed because you make my life better. You make my life, except that silly smile you have on right now, you make my life a lot more enjoyable. Put a good perspective on what it is really, truly means to live
Thank
life.
you, Courtney. Appreciate it.
That's really
Aaron?
cool. Have you studied at college, and if so, what field?
I did go to college. I went to Michigan State University. Go Sparty.
Go green!
Go green, go white.
That's right.
And I did receive a bachelor's degree. It was in, are you ready for a mouthful, guys?
Tell us.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to take a deep breath to say it.
What is it?
Environmental and Natural Resource Policy Studies / Resource Development with a specialization in Community and Organization Planning and Management. Now,
Wow.
the question is, what did I do with that degree? Absolutely nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing?
No,
How come?
I'm not in that field. I think I was about 15 or 20 years too early.
Uh-huh.
Now it's the big environmental boom now, and all the people get all the jobs in the environmental science and all of that, but I was a little bit ahead of the game.
Yeah.
So there weren't very many opportunities when I graduated that would afford me to be able to eat macaroni and cheese and buy gas for a car. I would have to give up one of the two.
Oh.
So I went to human resources,
Human resources?
and that's where I've worked.
Okay.
Please share information about your previous jobs.
You want me to tell you about my previous jobs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was very lucky when I did graduate college that I had an uncle that owned a staffing agency, and he awarded me my very first opportunity at working in human resources and being a recruiter. So I owe a lot to him because he started the whole process for me. And from there, I worked for, I'm sure you guys know this retailer. No, Ryan, hold on. Hot Topic.
Oh, yes.
Hot topic, yes.
I did work for Hot Topic,
Topic,
but I
that's it.
worked for their corporate headquarters in Los Angeles, and I had a region that was 1/4 of the United States, and I traveled every single week of the year, except for holidays, and I hired people to manage their stores all across the country. So I went everywhere from Alaska to Puerto Rico. It was pretty cool.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, and then I got a little tired of all that travel, and I missed Ryan, so I took a job in the local area at Quicken Loans.
Okay.
doing the same thing, human resources. And then from there, now I'm doing just some consulting. And I am going to be working in special education.
Cool.
There you go. Courtney, may I ask you a question? What is it like having me? What is it like having me as your brother? Am I nice to you? And be honest. Am I nice to you in the morning?
I have to say that
great.
you are very nice to me.
Thank you, my dear.
That is, I am very lucky. When I get up in the morning, I always see a smiling face. He's always excited to see me.
Always excited to see you.
And those times, you know, where you wake up and maybe you have the flu and you don't feel good, and you just feel like,
It's terrible.
like you were run over by a semi truck.
Yeah.
Maybe you can say
Ryan, hold on, buddy. Ryan actually turns and looks at you and sees that you don't feel well, and he'll say, "My, don't you look beautiful this morning?"
I know it's beautiful this morning.
And he really means it.
I mean it sincerely. I mean it.
So, I am very, very close to Ryan. He is very much the most important person in my life, and he's very much the light of my life.
Thank you, Courtney. I'm honored to be your brother.
Wow, I feel
Thank
flattered right here.
That is so wonderful.
I'm doing it.
Thank you. It's true. He's got some
Don't
faults,
don't tell him my faults.
Easy.
but who doesn't, right?
I don't.
We all have faults.
Yeah.
Everyone has faults in the world. Everyone has faults in the world.
True. As a sister to our host, Ryan,
Great.
please share some stories of when he was growing up.
Some stories of growing up with
Oh, great.
Ryan growing up.
Okay.
Well, I remember, the first thing that I can remember, I am 6 years older than Ryan, so there is a bit of a difference. Ryan used to have so much energy, and it was very hard to contain him. He would run around the front yard like a whirling dervish. He had tons of energy.
Yeah.
He really did.
Yeah.
But he also has always been very kind and very, very loving towards anyone he meets.
Yep.
So anytime I would go anywhere with Ryan, there would be somebody inevitably that knew him and would be so excited and give him a big hug.
That's
You
right.
can't go anywhere in this city without someone recognizing him.
Cool.
Exactly.
That's wonderful.
But in the same sense, you know, there are definitely challenges to having a brother that has different abilities as
That's
well.
better. That's better. Abilities is more like the word.
In your family growing up, you played a role with your younger brother Ryan. What was that role?
I can tell him.
I think that it is very important for any sibling to play an active role in their brothers or sisters' lives, regardless if they have a different ability or not. The role that I play would be,
Advocate.
I am an advocate of Ryan, but I'm also an advocate of Aaron and an advocate of David's as well.
Yes, you are.
I believe that anything that I can do to make your lives richer, more exciting, more fun, you know, wrestling,
Wrestling is really wrestling. Yeah, of
course,
Saturday
wrestling.
night.
I will do it because it also makes me happy. But I believe that playing the role it's not really a role, you know, I don't treat them any differently than I would treat my other brothers or sisters. If I had a sister, I wish I did. But it really isn't any different. You love and support your sibling, and you do whatever you possibly can to make their lives better. And in turn, it makes your life richer.
You know, we come to the important question. A question everyone wants answered. As you know, I was in high school. I was bullied. I was. It's something I simply had to deal with in my high school days. I mean, it happened every day. It happened to me all the time. I was pushed into lockers. I was shoved into doing things that you wouldn't even believe it would happen to me. It was very, very hard for me to understand why this would bully me in high school. Why? There was one gentleman,
Okay, Ryan.
and you tell me who it was, that really, simply, was the meanest person in the whole world.
Well, what's your question?
Explain how this such a bully became so bad for me growing up.
Well, here's the thing. I believe that the people who are bullies and the people who bully
Yeah.
do it because they don't
to do it.
understand.
Exactly.
They don't know any different.
They really don't.
And so when there's somebody that is different than them, their first reaction
It's a pick on them.
is to be afraid or make fun of them. So if you sit back and think, those times that Ryan was bullied,
I was.
maybe it was because the other person didn't understand.
Yeah.
Luckily nowadays, in the current generation of kids going through the school system, there's a lot more understanding, there's a lot more acceptance
Caring.
of people with different abilities. But when you three were in school, it was a challenge and it was a struggle for parents and siblings alike to help get rid of the stigma and to help their sister or child get through school without being bullied. However, I do
tell
also believe
them who.
that those little things that happened to you in your past, if you can learn from them, it makes you who you are today.
And,
So while Ryan may have been bullied in high school, he refuses to be mean or say anything bad about anybody else or bully anybody else. So he definitely learned from it. We also have such a strong support network of my friends that the minute that somebody would say something to Ryan and Ryan would come home, I was at Michigan State at that point. Ryan would come home upset. My best friend, Jamie, was right there to listen to him. And there was a gentleman at the bus stop that was very mean to him. So Jamie would then meet him every day at the bus stop and walk him home so that this person didn't have the ability to say anything mean.
You're right.
And then once Jamie could no longer be there for Ryan right after he was dropped off by the bus, we were very lucky that there was a gentleman in our neighborhood, which became Ryan's best friend,
Best friend in the whole world who's married now.
Chip Bannon,
My best friend, Charles Francis Bannon.
who did not have any different abilities.
He didn't. He only
And
just
he befriended Ryan
in a nice
out
way.
of the kindness of his heart, and
In the nicest
clearly
way.
he was raised very well. And he then drove Ryan to and from school and
Every
looked
day.
out for him
Every
in high
day.
school.
Every day.
So I think the universe kind of makes itself right in different ways.
When you share activities of wine, how does that help you develop as an individual?
How's that helped me develop?
Yes.
And me too.
I believe that having a brother that has different abilities has definitely shaped who I am today. I learned from a very early age that there is nothing wrong with having a different ability. It just makes you special,
It does.
and it gives you different things to give to the world.
Exactly.
And I have also learned that I think that people who do not have a disability may have it wrong, because I've done softball with Ryan, I've done soccer with Ryan,
Golf with me.
golf with Ryan,
Wrestling.
basketball. Those are 4 sports I can think of off the top of my head that I've been an active participant in activities and different things like that with Ryan.
Okay.
And what I've learned is to be a better athlete, you have to have fun.
Fun is fun. Fun is
And
a
you
key word.
can't take
course.
everything so serious
I know.
that you're really, it's just exciting to be there and to be able to play and to score, maybe. If not, to cheer on
Your colleagues.
your team. or to cheer on even the other team. That it's not always about who wins and who loses and who takes it serious and what you look like while you're doing it. It's about going out there and not caring what everybody else thinks and just trying your best.
Of course.
Yeah.
What have you learned along the way, sites and guides?
The society today is definitely more accepting of people with different abilities. When Ryan was growing up, there definitely was a struggle. I watched my parents have to struggle for everything that he had, every right that he was given, to not label.
That's right.
To not label an individual or put a stigma upon them. Because when he was younger and when you guys were younger, once you were labeled, then people didn't try to really understand you or your abilities anymore. So I've watched the struggles of families all around me, and I've also watched all three of you grow and fight whatever stigmas were put in place, you know, through not understanding. I've watched all three of you now become public speakers. I've watched all three of you have your own TV show, despite the fact that it had never been done before in the Metro Detroit area. I've watched all of you put your mind to it. And I know that it also has a lot to do with the roles that your family has played. That your family stands right behind you to catch you if you fall a little and to say, keep trying, keep going, you can do it. And now it's a lot easier. But back when Ryan was a child, it wasn't.
It was hard.
You definitely had to fight, but they definitely paved the way for children of today to have access to more
Fun things.
fun things.
Yeah, fun things.
Well, have more access to more fun things and more resources as well.
Yeah, Courtney.
True.
Let me ask you a question. Since you grew up with me and Travis and my brother, since you've been with lots of friends that you know, what supports have you shown me and other people with disabilities to try and teach them and try and show them what a vital component it is vitally important we play in this world we call life?
What have I done?
Yes, what have you done?
Well, I like to take a back seat. Yes, of course, I drive you guys.
Yes, you do, Courtney.
Yes, I do, because you can't drive, but that is the only thing I think you guys cannot do.
Right? Is it an agreement, gentlemen? You
I-
can drive?
So,
I believe that any child or any adult with a different ability can do anything that they possibly want to.
Exactly.
All they have to do is have the right
F-U-N.
group of friends, family to stand behind them and keep cheering them on.
am I a service? Am I a service worker, or do you want to be one?
I have looked into being a service worker. However, I do also believe that there is a role for family and friends. I have not looked at being a service worker for Ryan
Oh, really, Courtney?
or support staff, as we like to call them,
Okay.
or support staff for any of Ryan's friends, because I think that that might hinder their ability to grow. They may be a little too comfortable with me and may not get some of the experiences that a new support staff person would give them.
Okay.
I am looking into different careers that involve people with different abilities. I have been a counselor, a camp counselor for a camp for children with disabilities. I have been a coach.
Yeah,
I
well,
have done many, many things. And I believe that although it is significantly different, the amenities and the resources that are available to families and people with disabilities nowadays, I believe that there is quite a bit of room that can grow, and I've been looking into different ways to help that happen.
All right.
Cool.
I have two more questions to ask you. And I can ask this one. What do we enjoy doing together?
We enjoy doing everything that any other brother and sister enjoy
Exactly.
doing. Unfortunately, I might enjoy it a little bit more, and I may spend a little bit more time
Oh, without me.
with Ryan than a lot of other siblings.
Oh,
But
really, Courtney?
we like going to wrestling here.
Oh, the wrestling?
Yep.
I take you guys.
Speaking of wrestling, I'm explaining about our trip for the semi-pro wrestling events called the MWO.
David's mother, Mrs. Taylor, found out through the studio here that they have a wrestling organization that is just based in Michigan, and they do a wrestling show once a month here at the studio. And Mrs. Taylor was very, very kind in saying, well, I'll take the boys to see it. And I sat there and thought, you know what? There is a difference between your parents taking you somewhere and your sister taking you somewhere.
True.
And since I know you guys very well as well, I thought they may have nothing bad about your mom, but they may enjoy themselves a little bit more if it was more somebody their age that took them. So I decided, shoot, I'm not doing anything. And I took you guys to the wrestling event, and you had the time of your life, which in turn, just watching how excited and how much you guys liked it,
Yep.
I had to be a part of it every month. So now every month, you guys all pack like sardines into my car.
I know that, Courtney.
Yep.
And we drive up here and get to have a boys' night out, even though I'm a girl. I take the back seat, and you guys do what every other group of friends does.
True.
How do you see
We have
your
fun.
experience with Ryan going forward?
Well, I know that I have a tendency to take on a role, which any sibling would, of trying to protect him and trying to shelter him from any danger or any bad. But I also know that I have to take a back seat to that, because that also makes you who you are. And Ryan, even though he has different abilities like you two, Ryan is an adult, and Ryan can learn and shape himself and handle situations himself. So my job is just to stand behind him and support him, and stand behind you two and support you in anything you choose to do. If you fail, I'll be there to pick you up. If you succeed, I'll be your #1 fan to support you. But I can't be the person who holds your hand. And that's a valuable lesson that I've had to learn in letting Ryan grow and become the man he is.
Oh, really, Courtney?
Yes.
Now,
Really?
What is the stories from our family? Well, I can tell one.
No, here, I've got a good one.
Tell and make it short.
I'll make it short. So, success stories of our family.
And I'll tell one.
Well, we have been very, very successful as a family because we have a lot of love, and that makes us very successful. And a lot of the accomplishments that Ryan has, we view as family successes. He's our #1 in our life. When he was younger, when he first went to school, the people in school that are there to, the counselors and the social workers and the teachers and all that. This is back in the day where they didn't understand as much. They wanted to label him, and they really truly thought that he would not speak any more than 8 words.
Oh.
Yes.
8 words a minute. I couldn't say one thing.
That's all they thought he would be able to achieve.
Those yabos.
And my family said, absolutely not. Ryan can do whatever he wants to do.
Exactly.
And if you guys remember, Ryan was the MC for the...
I'll tell the list.
No, buddy, I got it. Was the MC for the state of Michigan Fall Special Olympic Games
I was.
for their closing ceremonies.
I was indeed.
He's a public speaker.
Cool.
He achieved beyond 8 words. He has a vocabulary that puts me to shame. So that just shows you that the right support, anything is possible in any child, with
Exactly.
disabilities or not. There is no real difference between a person with special needs or different abilities than one who is quote unquote normal. They all have the same struggles. They all have the same hurdles to overcome. And as a family, you have to teach that it's not, you can't use it as a crutch. And you have to be, as a sister, I had to be a springboard to help him fly even higher.
Oh, really?
And achieve those goals and achieve those dreams and be his #1 fan.
Oh, thanks, Courtney. Be honest about that.
Cool.
First, I'd like to say
Everybody
the
needs that.
questions were made by me and my mother. Can make us after the show. It has been such wonderful meeting you, Courtney, and learning about your personal experiences. It is vital for people to give thought to supporting and working directly to those who have challenges of any sort. We need to inform and educate, and that is the purpose of our show today. Our 3 hosts, me and Ryan, have challenges, but I will focus on those on our helping team, know our strengths and weaknesses, with respect us for who we are and what successes we express. We know that the general public has perceptions that are not always clear. And as hosts of the show, we attempt to express our abilities. We are not labels because we label
That's right.
for cans. It's really important to learn that full inclusion is in place. Thank you for being our guest.
Well,
Courtney
thank you for
Gray.
having me.
I'm Courtney Gray. See y'all next time. Bye-bye.